Okay, that's okay. There shouldn't be an input capture on that. There should just be that on that. Ah, we forgot that part. How will people know that we're still doing the thing? Are we doing the thing? I feel like I'm here. It updated. OBS updated itself. We'll find out how that goes. Typically, app updates are super awesome, and nothing bad ever happens. So, fire truck. It is abominably hot outside. I don't know what it feels like where you are, but the forecast high for today is 100. Today is the first day of spring, so far as I know. Today is the equinox? I guess today is the equinox. And you can tell because it's 100 degrees outside. It was like 90 by 9:30 a.m. Awesome. Just what we all look forward to. The weather app gives me something like 31 degrees above the average daily high. Oh no, it just updated to 33 degrees. It's supposed to be 67 today. But we skipped. So spring was where winter was supposed to be. Winter never happened. This is marked by the fact that I had to get on my riding lawnmower in the month of December, which is not a thing that has ever happened before. So I think we're just moving the seasons around. No one asked for this. Here we are. The UV index is very high. I always thought that the equinox meant equal night, right? 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of nighttime. But today, sunrise 6:50 and sunset at 7 p.m. That's 10 extra minutes, unless I'm wrong. Jimbo launching it off with the 5. Hey, JP Word. We haven't heard from him in a minute. I hope he's doing all right. I hope all of y'all are doing all right. Everybody who's here on the day, I'm glad to see you here. We're gonna make an attempt to build something. That's what we're shooting for. Oh, and we are going to need at some point to talk about April giveaway. What avenue do we want to go down? I've been accumulating parts of all kinds, so we'll definitely think of something to build. I don't know whether we want to do flat rails, C channels. I guess those are the two options. Do I have any cages? No, not really. Does that mean TI Fury next week? I mean, it could. It doesn't go on the board until it goes on the board, and I only just. Does it say Mantis? Live Mantis. Yes, it does say that on the board, but we have plenty of options. We have plenty of options. The TI Fury is an interesting one. It's in a box, much like this. This just came out of the big. I don't even know where I put it. This just came out of the big bin. Because I don't know where to put all this stuff. Build a scale truck giveaway. That I wouldn't have a body for. I don't have other than the killer body, which I've been put off building and will continue to put off building. So I've done that in a minute. I got a couple builds we can do. I have enough to build 2 elements. I've got another set of stance rails. I've got these rails. I've got 2 other sets of like if it's flat rail, we definitely have options. I did a little bit of necessary stuff, which is he sent me an undrilled skid, so I drilled it. Would a set of brand new unused 100mm Coyote shocks be of use for a giveaway or the Operation Trouble builds? Yeah, those are those are the only good axial shocks right now, as far as I'm concerned. The Coyote shocks were on the one we gave away last week. They just generally need to be resprung, but I have a surplus of small springs. So yeah, shocks for giveaways is always helpful. Oh, I note as I look on the bench right now, one thing I didn't do is I certainly didn't pick out shocks for it. I've got 90s, 95s, 105s. We'll find something to fit. Haven't been here in a few. I apologize, sir. Life sometimes pulls us away. How's the Kenya today? Hot. Not in here. I said that we would be turning the swamp. I turned the swamp cooler on at like 7 in the morning. It's really nice in here. It's absolutely pleasant. When you walk outside. No, I do not recommend. So I drilled the skid this morning. This was undrilled. I think I did a pretty good job. I used the adapter, and the way I mounted the adapter was I kind of set the axle in front of it and looked at where the upper links go, and it looks like I got it. It's pretty straight. It might be clicked the tiniest little bit, but this is as far as it can go that way. So if I need to move it back, like if it puts the drive shaft too close to the rail, we can move it back. But there's pretty good clearance on the rails at the front from the looks of it. And also, if you want to talk about something I haven't done, I don't know what we're looking at. These were just all in the box, the big bin. These were all in the bin. Oh, and there's more. I was just throwing handfuls of links into the bin. There are also these two drive shafts in there. I do have the body mount pieces. We'll certainly use those. I've got a body for it. Of course, we've got axles. These have been waiting in a box for a long time now. I mounted up the servo this morning, and it looks like we're pretty close. The only thing we have to remember to do is always, is this brand new? This is brand new. Never plug that in until you take that off. That's as much of a note for me as it is for anyone else, because otherwise I'll forget, plug that thing in, find out that the servo is 180 degrees out of phase, 90 degrees in Missouri. I will take 100 here over 90 degrees in Missouri every single time. Y'all, I know that you couldn't be cooling your building with what I'm cooling my building with. Can you make a super short wheelbase rig like nearly square, cab only with the rear axle at the cab wall? That wouldn't be square. That would be a rectangle that way. Because you got to figure you're going to be looking at a minimum. Now, what are we talking about square? Okay. Okay. So if we were spaced out some typical amount, let's say, give me a 12-inch ruler. So we want to be about 250 wide. We'd be right about there, which is fairly typical for a 195 pin-to-pin axle, so say like a straight axle. Now, if you wanted something square, would you consider square to be 250 wheelbase or 250 from the front of one tire to the end of the other? Because if you went 250 end to end and therefore had that, so it would look like that. Absolute doodlebug. You could not put enough weight on the front axle. I mean, just think. Look, imagine if there was a skid in the middle of it. There's no chance. Like, it would be undrivable. Every time you went to make a turn, you would just probably roll over to the side. So if we stretch that out to 250 width, 250 wheelbase, now you're getting into a territory of possibly you like that. That's doable. That's basically Bushido, right? I mean, that's still incredibly short. If you were to stump the frame rails out, yeah, you'd be 14 inches long. I mean, even these rails would be too long for 14 inches. That'd be really small. And I kind of tried it before. No drive shafts, just directly driven from the trans to the axle. Well, then you'd be a skateboard because you'd have to figure out a way to get. Otherwise, you can't have any suspension. If there's no drive shaft between the gearbox and the axle, you also have no suspension. Where'd I put the other one? I'm good. We're good. We're good. We're gonna put this guy in the one hole, but I have no idea where we're gonna end up for a wheelbase. We're just gonna build front to back like we always do. Like we mostly always do. Like we try to do. It's at least an effort. Hey! Old Sawtooth Turner. Sawtooth Turner coming in with the 10. A rig that short would be practically useless. Yes. Just waiting for the 10 to stream through there. We're keeping it alive. He's keeping it alive. You're all keeping it alive. There is going to be, due to the generosity of some of you loons, the 27th of this month, because February was a 28-day month, the 27th of this month is going to be an unprecedented gifted membership roll-off. Like, I think somewhere around 150 are going to all roll off in one day. The Sawtooth is going to get this real steam. So on the other on the Mr. Turner's birthday, 27th is his birthday. It's gonna go boom. It's gonna drop off so bad because we haven't had the big drop because February out being weird with a I don't know, correct number of days. Should we just have 13 28-day months? Just add another one. What did the Simpsons add? Smarch? Is that the 13th month? We could go with the 13th month. I mean, we lock it in at 330 and we'll adapt. We'll adapt as we go. I mean, 330 looks like it might be A-OK. It's not like we don't have a selection of only if we name a Toyotathon. Yes, agreed. Where do we put it? Okay, we got to move it because October is the 10th month, even though its name means 8th month. November is named the 9th month, but it's the 11th month. We need to move all the months around. We're just gonna reorganize. We'll put October as the 8th month of 13. And then I guess, like, is Toyotathon now the first month of the year? Or yes, we can say, hey, the Julian calendar, we can thank Caesar for just throwing in July and August. Julius and Augustus. But I mean, my question about that is, how did it? Like, I haven't looked into this enough. How did it work before that? Like, before they added to July and August, how long was a year? Like, was it not 365 days? How did that work? Like, or was it just more of a, it doesn't matter what month it is. Like, we know that this is the time of year that we harvest and this is the time of year that they plant, there were way more leap days and odd months. No. I can deal with the 10th month, literally named December being 10th month, being the 12th month. I can deal with that a lot more than I can, oh, next August is 35 days. This somehow seems worse. So this is tough because we've got to use like pins in here. So we can mock it up a little. Yeah, sun's gonna come up when it comes up. It's absolutely right. Just don't tell the government that, because then they'll try to institute permanent daylight savings time, or whichever one you don't want. Whichever sun, whatever time you want the sun to come up, the government will make it a different time. We're gonna institute permanent daylight savings time. Time is only relevant to humans. I have said many times, time is a construct. Nothing in the universe pays attention to it except us, because we have places to be. Yeah, the sun coming up, sunrise tax. To be closely followed by the sunset tax. It'll be a grand time when they tax us for our use of the sun. We're now on permanent daylight savings time. Yeah, and I looked at the little map. I had posted it in the Discord about a week ago, and California wants to go. Their legislation is to go on permanent standard time, but everybody around us wants to go onto permanent daylight savings time. So it would be a different time in California than all of the states surrounding it, except Nevada, who apparently still don't care. But either way, it sounds absolutely correct, right? California would be the one that would be like, yeah, no, we want our own thing. How short, isn't Arizona the only state? Yeah, they just stay at the same time all the time in Arizona because it's the desert. And this is mostly the desert too, so I don't know why. I don't actually know why we don't just stay at the same time all the time. So, should we do the front links thusly, which is find a drive shaft and just make the length of the front end fitting to a drive shaft that I already have, because it is often just incredibly annoying to have to reconfigure the front end over and over again just to get the drive shaft length. Man, how many of these do I have? Every length? I've got that really, really short one that we didn't use. I've got a cut to length that could obviously be cut down more. And that is going to, I'm not huge on the cut to length for very short lengths because they don't have enough insertion. That's too long. That's too long. I don't know what this is from. Is it short? Yeah, it's really short. And methinks Mr. C is ignoring the purple guy. California is full of weirdos. Are we painting that guy purple? You wouldn't know if we did. That's the thing. That's the thing about Mr. Hurley. We could paint this any color, and it would either be purple or gray. So if we paint this gray, he won't know. It might be purple, but he would just see it as gray. So we have some freedom and flexibility there, certainly. I think, I don't know what this is off of. I don't know what this is off of. I took it off of something. I don't know what this is off of. And it's also one of those, well, will it key 180 degrees out? Not really. You can't perfectly phase it. It doesn't quite phase. So for that reason, We'll install that on something where it doesn't matter. So the shortest I've got is, we've got an 80 eye to eye, and we've got an 86. So I guess the 80 it is. As short as we can go. Hello. I missed 5 memberships from Mr. Face. I certainly did. I threatened the kid. I was like, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna plug in the laptop and I'm gonna put it on the little workbench that's down at the end of the main bench, and I'm gonna have them sit down there and read chat so that I don't have to try to keep up with it. And they were like, but I'm going out with my friends today. I was like, I was only half kidding. I don't know why we harp on the newer generation when they say 6'7". We had 69, but at least it meant something. Sorry for the random thought. No, that was in the Discord earlier today where somebody was like, dang kids, always changing words around. Yeah, everybody's always done that. Right? I mean, cool. It's cool, baby. No, stay. 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 Don't touch that. Probably okay. Okay. Even at that length, that is way too short to use adjustable links. Any recommendations on a good 50 kg-ish LP direct power servo? When you added that part at the end that says direct power, you're over $100 now. To my knowledge, there isn't one that is under. If you're okay with receiver power, that DS power 55, even if it doesn't make 55, it's pretty good. My question would be, have your clocks gone forward? Yeah, we went forward last week before. No, it's 2 weeks now. So the live stream on the 13th was already on the new time. Basically stuck with NSDRC. Yeah, AGFRCs are impossible to get now. Everything else, EcoPower 832 is on sale right now for $100. It's not as short as a full half height. I can paint you a picture. For those curiosities. Now, in fairness to NSDRC, in fairness to EcoPower, they do call the 832 mid height, because if we line the tabs up, the 832 is down here. Could you help me out? Thank you. The 832 is down here and the 55 is right there. But they kind of trade it out a little bit on stack height, a little bit. That's that's why I say these are straight Capra. The cheat code thing is obnoxious as far as I'm concerned. So this is why, like, if you're running a half height, you're putting it behind the axle. Like I don't know why you would be putting it anywhere else if you can fit. This is fusion rules. Half heights are fusion rules all day, which is if you can fit a full size one, just put a full size one in there. Like, we run things like Outrunners because we have to. I'm not just gonna, like, it's part and parcel of the reason that I don't have a TRX4 that has an Outrunner in it, because I have plenty of room. Rusty doesn't count. Okay, this is not helping me at all. Where are the little skewers? Let's see if I can maybe prop this drive shaft up. It's not really high enough. Be better. I just need a ballpark, because that would definitely be full compression I think that's safe to say. Probably right about there. That's all right. All right. Gonna donate my time to the real world. Ugh. I'll listen in car till I get home. That has to be speech to text, because only the autofill from speech to text would put in the word cartel until car-till. I've run with a few guys with cheat codes. They're nice, but more expensive. If they were nylon, it'd be nice. GoTech GB 5009, 50 kg, 10 to 14, Amazon around $65. I've never seen it. I genuinely feel like many of us are seeing different Amazons. GoTech GB 5009. Yeah, it's a full height. So I have seen that. Yeah. Oh, does this work? Yeah. Yeah. That's a full height. NSDRC has RS100 on Amazon. NSDRC is on Amazon? Would you be interested in the challenge of creating a 3-gear LCG style transmission for the SEX6? It wouldn't be that hard. I've built 2 gearboxes. The thing that I can't do is the fancy, impressive stuff. I would have to do it flat plated. Flat plate with the bearings, with flanged bearings. With the flanged bearings. But yeah, building a gearbox, particularly a 3-gear, is not difficult. Brought to you courtesy of, you could also build a gearbox for that application that would be extraordinarily robust, because I found out during my time working with the Limitless that the Limitless doesn't have a spur gear. That's just another pinion gear. It's an 8mm bore pinion gear. So you can just go on a website and buy 8mm bore pinion gears that are Mod 1 and hardened, so they will be K Robusto. And then all I do is I make the shafts. I get the bearings ahead of time, make the shafts, and then drill a hole through the shaft, and then either treat it myself or start with a pre-existing shaft and then cut it down or drill it out with carbide. And then an idler gear just has to rotate on bearings. Yeah, that would be fairly easy to do. What it would come down to is how LCG do you want it, and how much gear reduction do you want internally? Because you are free to choose. You're free to choose, and you could make it really LCG. You can make it unusably LCG. Having the motor in hand would make things a lot easier. And then what I would do is I would get my very rough prototype out, and then I would send it to one of those CAD guys like JP Worth, the man from Oklahoma, and then they would clean it up, and then we could send it to Senkatsen and have the plates cut. That way they'd be nice. Real easy. And I would just mount it with tabs. Instead of doing thick walls, I would either mount it with tabs, or the way the little LCG gearboxes are, it's bolted to a skid. It's bolted to a skid. So these just use hex, and then they just drill a hole through the flats in the hex, and they just bolt it down like that. I would do it exactly like that. Because if you're going to make something like that, the bolt hole making the components is where I fall short. I'm just using stock censored motor ESC. Doesn't need to be crazy LCG. Yeah, I mean, I would make it as LCG as one of the big fat motors will allow. You know, get the motor down as far as you can, and then do the motor adjustment side to side, so that even if as long as it's not hitting links, yeah, like. I guess what I'm trying to get at in the longest, most roundabout way possible is it would be fairly difficult for me to build a gearbox for an SCX6, for an LCG, like a flat-railed SCX6. Now, if I was doing fun for a regular SCX6, that would be easier, but I don't know how to do things for a universal application. I would be building something very specific. I can't even see where it is. We're gonna absolutely guess. We're gonna go 90. We're gonna go 90, and we're gonna do Mias ends, provided Mias ends will actually fit. Yes. Like, we shouldn't have a problem, right? Why Mias rod ends, you ask? There's going to be more. There's going to be more. So we need 4 angled. 3, 4. Then we need 90 eye to eye or thereabouts. We're making it up as we go along. That is 50 or a 55, and we have a ton of 55s. 55 it is. You have no idea how good it feels to not have to use these for the front links. I'd rather just make the wheelbase longer. I want to build an LCG crawler thinking of Mias Gold Rush. Mias Gold Rush is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not a bad place to start because everything fits together the way it should. And you have a decent amount of freedom over your wheelbase. So, I mean, if you buy the one that comes with the links, you're going to have that wheelbase. But, you know, you're not locked in. Standard chassis and standard skid. Yeah. I am not I guess designer is the word that I'm looking for. I'm a bespoke guy, so I make one thing at a time. So I could make it in the same manner that I've made any of the gearboxes that I've made in the past, just keeping in the back of my mind that once I have the part done, 91, I'll take it. I can have someone clean it up on the computer end so that it can be duplicated. Now, if you just want me to make one, then yeah, I can make one. Having to remember that that's all. How big are the outputs on the gearbox in an SCX6? Like, what size are the outputs for the yokes on the drive shafts? Big, right? I think in my head this whole time I had like Rift, which is 6mm, but it's bigger than that, right? Those drive shafts are like enormous. Is it 8mm? My knowledge of the SCX6 is reasonably small. Wood mounting a motor vertical to a horizontal wood mounting a motor vertical to a horizontal gearbox to throw off the weight bias, or would it just make it top heavy? Honestly, unless it's something really big, it's probably not going to negatively impact the weight bias much at all. It's only gonna, like, because if you think about it, I don't have 2 motors. I'm trying to think of something that I have as stand-ins. The apparatus to turn it 90 degrees would probably add the most weight. And if I was going to turn it 90 degrees, Like, I don't know why you would want it. I'm looking to streamline the drive chain and reduce the rotation weight. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Unknown RC has a 1/6 FRD6 carbon conversion. I wonder if I can copy and then paste that. Hey, that worked. Hey, look at that. Oh, I can just look at what I have. Technology. Boom. So something like that. My only beef with that, SLS printed skid mounts. Like, I don't like that. Especially with all the, I don't like that. Like, the plates, great. Then I would just make new, the little piece at the bottom. There's stuff that 3D printing I'm good with. That's not a spot that I would put 3D printed. This is SCX6, right? Right? Like, think of the amount of torque that's going to go through that, and effectively you have 4 little screws and 2 little 3D printed bits holding that all together. I'm not crazy about that, but it already exists. 5mm output. 5mm output. That's crazy because a Rift has 6mm outputs. You would one would think they would be slightly bigger. All right. Dang, that's like a 25. This is a Mantis that you see, yes. He also has a chassis for it. Oh. Ground Zero, Atom C1, FRD6, Aftermath. That looks pretty small. Yeah, a lot of 3D printed. Oh, maybe I click chassis. Oh, that's Capra. I'm way too easily distracted. Incredibly easily distracted. Nope. I did remember correctly. This screw prevents the rod end from fitting and won't come out. I don't know how I remember that. I can't see how the weight savings would make up for the loss of strength. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy about 3D printing for like that kind of load-bearing application, especially on an SCX6. I mean, they've probably tested it. They've probably tried it. Doesn't mean I like it. All right, for setup, I'm just gonna leave that screw out. Don't let me forget to put that back in. I don't remember what I do. I think I take a button head or a flat head and I reduce the head down so that it'll fit down into the little recess. But, or is this the one where you can't even fit? No, it just fits. It just fits. shocks, TBD. Threaded? Nope. If this is something you're interested in, let me know and I'll send you an email. I mean, yeah, I could do it. 100% infill on that plate would be pretty strong. Yeah, but I mean, you can buy aluminum. Hence why this little guy is just like, this aluminum hex. This is just off-the-shelf stuff. And you can get it in all the sizes, and it's not expensive. And even though this is truly the silver butter, so we're basically, what that thing is this, but bigger, right? You could buy, this is probably quarter, is it 6.3? It's 5 millimeter. So what's down for 3/16? So this would be 3/16. You could just go up a couple steps, you know? That is something that it doesn't matter unless it's one of those, what's the other kind? The one that like prints in metal? You 3D print for rapid prototyping and stuff like that. That is not an application that makes me think 3D printing. Like, because that is load bearing. It's holding the whole gearbox on. And based on the nightmare that I just had to go through on a rig maintenance that ran too long, there's just stuff that I'm not leaving up to 3D printed. Now we find out if these are too short. You know what I should have done? You're all thinking it. He should have attached it to the skid before the axle. You're probably right. That motor is the size of a standard soda can. 3D print will fail way sooner than metal. Yeah. I would be using like 4 millimeter hardware on that. Just oversize it. It doesn't cost that much to oversize it. Okay, let's see if I can do this without buffooning it. I have a special idiot method, which involves a dry erase pen, my driver. I take my driver, and then I have the set screw. Oh no, I was going to use full for this. Okay, all right, fine. We're going to do it. Let's do it. This 3D printed stuff, I don't feel as bad about putting it together and taking it apart a couple times, because he put the inserts in it. It used to only cost 39 cents to supersize it. That's true. Nylon carbon or PEEK or PPSCF can be just as strong as aluminum, but 90% of people who 3D print aren't set up to be able to print with those filaments. Yeah, and it probably takes longer and it costs more. But my argument against it is that aluminum is still cheap. You can I don't know what the aversion is to aluminum. Sintered metal. We'll see if we're building our way to a disaster. Oh, this whole process is going to be a problem, because yeah, no matter what, I'm going to have to put this together and take it apart more times than I want to. I mean, I'm probably doing it wrong. This guy, I know, got his first 3D print, and his first big product is completely 3D printing a frame rail lighter and as strong as aluminum. I'm like, not a good idea. That has the, that looks too long. That has the real feel to it of, nope, that is the correct length. That has the feel of trying to reinvent the wheel, is what that is. Like, things exist. I'd love some aluminum, but all we have over in the UK is aluminium. Aluminium, not as good. Not as good. I'm a big supporter of aluminum. And I know it doesn't follow the rules. That's okay. We're not over here adding extra. If anything, the practice over here is removing a syllable, syllable. Y'all over there are just adding extra, just tacking syllables on. Does that still line up? Because it doesn't look like it does. But I can't really see. This is... I feel like I'm bowing it. All right. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it, right? That's how we're going to do that. My friend told me his carbon fiber 3D printer parts were stronger than real carbon fiber. I struggled with that one. Hey. UK aluminium is better than Chinesium. That's true. It's true. We made it to the moon, so we can say it any way we want. Correct. Miata Commuter with the 5. What the heck is an aubergine? Or a color with a U? Yeah. Or the Lou or a lorry? No, we'll do the 12. We'll do the 12. If we can do this by only taking it apart 5 times, victory. Small but sizable. Titanium? I like that. I like titanium because it's pronounced exactly the same as titanium. I love the denial of the moon landing because to me it's the ultimate expression of the almost certain psyop that is the Mandela effect, in which they try to make you doubt all the things that you've seen and the things that you already know. They try to make you question what you already know. And they want to say, and they, when I say they, I don't know, lizard people? They want to see if people are willing to deny that which they know to be true. I understood the lorry part. I looked it up one day. It was the whole cart and carriage thing is where we get lorry from. Well, we call it a tractor or semi. Yeah, it's a tractor, the thing that pulls. Yeah, I mean, language is, if nothing else, dynamic. So everybody is allowed to call whatever they want, whatever, it's 6-7, The only one that I don't accept is decimate. Because it literally means reduce by 1/10, and the modern language has converted it to mean to destroy utterly. Which is the definition of annihilate. Do we need another word for annihilate? I think annihilate is a better word than decimate. It just sounds better. To reduce by 1/10, decimate goes in the lexicon right next to penultimate, aka words you don't get to use very much. Next to last. Penultimate. So, when we do the penultimate thing next to the last thing. Thomas Moore with the 5, keeping it alive. Yeah, somebody on the Discord said, had just made some offhand mention of Chuck Norris, and I was like, what about Chuck Norris? And then when I opened my Facebook feed this morning, it was nothing but R.I.P. Chuck Norris. And one of my favorite things is the news isn't the news anymore, right? Hasn't been the news for a long time. Just the way they do the headline, right? Chuck Norris has died. Chuck Norris dead. Like, the language, right? Take it easy. Chuck Norris dead. Then Chuck Norris has died. Chuck Norris has passed away at the age of 86. Sounds right. Chuck Norris died after an urgent rush to the hospital. Like, we don't need to dramatize it, right? There's enough drama inherent in it. Yeah, we're using Grand Theft Auto 5 headlines, yeah. Everything has to be spectacular. There has to be some element of the spectacular. Now, these front uppers should be pretty easy because they are basically perfectly in line with the rails. They bolt in from the inside. There's little thread certs in there. So we will just measure a straight line. Make sure our selected drive shaft still fits. This is going to be a Link Olympics. Now this would be... Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Right about like that? Yeah. Ooh. That's a problem. Ooh. It's got to be Mountain Dew or Red Bull Extreme or nobody will pay attention. Yeah. Today I learned that Chuck Norris is a year older than my dad. Hey. Been eating my tea. How thick is Lee Jordan's tea? Gotta chew it on the way down. So, the hopes of only putting it together and taking it apart 6 times is basically out the window. That drive shaft output is almost directly where the front upper link needs to be. Ooh, it's right there. Okay. So, if I undo the mount, scooch that over basically all the way, the drive line angle will still, it'll be, you know what, it'll be fine. One has been, it's an English saying, you know what I mean, evening meal. No, I don't know what you mean. We don't say that here. No one says eating their tea. That's, you know what that is? That's aluminium, is what that is. Now, these are slightly different lengths. I think it's 1/16 and the rest are 14s, which means I could probably... That one's gone forever. Means I could probably just go to all 14s. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's save ourselves from future breakages. Just make them all 14. It'll be fine. So we had to remove that. We love tea here so much we replaced the word dinner with it. Wow. Well, I knew exactly what that was. Bottle of water. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Here's hoping that we're not done already, because I drilled the holes in the wrong places and I didn't account for the front upper and the drive shaft trying to occupy the same space at the same time. because it was drill your own. Is this a freshly made from scratch skin skid? Do you need that ROG pirate skid locator so you can pre-drill holes where you know it's not going to run into lengths? Well, I could have asked him, is the thing. So, this is self-made like all of my problems. Element on FB was asking what everyone wanted to see. I told them I'd like to make the kits more factory team. I want the goodies in the box, the shocks, the machine gears, etc. Well, wouldn't that be nice? I'm honestly surprised we still get the factory team shocks. I'm surprised it's not just the unanodized aluminum ones in all of the builds, in all of the kits and RTRs. Actually, no, I'm surprised we don't get the basic aluminum in the kits and plastic bodied on the RTRs. They're going the wrong direction is the problem. They're giving you, it's shrinkflation ready and in real time. Is it dumb to use a standard size servo with the Amazon Dig, or should I go with a micro servo? You can run an LP back there if you have the room for it. The Injora 22 kg is great. The JX 4409, I would get the Injora. The JX 4409 doesn't care for higher voltages. It'll just kind of, but that Injora is bulletproof. It handles standard horns. If you're not running cab only, you can just run it. You can run a full servo back there, and that's not a problem. It is a bunch of weight. So if you're weight weaning at all, then going to a micro is going to save you a substantial amount of weight. But your exchange for that is the work. You gotta, you gotta get the bracket, and then you gotta get a shorter arm and a shorter linkage and everything else. So much easier to just run you could run a 20 kg full size in there. But those Injora 22s are cheap. Cheap enough, I would say. I think this might have moved it over enough. I think we may, the universe has not decided to forsake me just yet. Give it time. Give me an Element V2 kit with the Stealth XF with the metal pinion option for $250. I'll buy 3 now. Someone asked me in a comment on a video, should they buy a Builder's Kit 2 or a Builder's Kit 3? And I was like, if you have the opportunity to buy a Builder's Kit 2 right now, buy it. Because what they've done to the Stealth XF is the complete opposite of what we would like to see. The plastic intermediate gear, the plastic spur gear, and the slipper eliminator make that gearbox unusable. I have 2 of them that I cannot fit to vehicles. One I got at the swap meet, and one came in some other way. I can't. Builder's Kit 3. I traded for a Builder's Kit 3. So I have 2 unusable Stealth XF gearboxes because you can't get the gears. You can't get the gears, which means you can't fit the gearbox, which means you can't run the gearbox. And I learned this, and some of them who saw it learned this at the same time. When we put an XF into Blue Sky High, I just put the kit in there. First he stripped the spur gear, then he stripped the intermediate gear, and then he broke the factory team out drives. So I basically had to take all of the parts from an SE gearbox and put it into that XF to make it usable. So the non-availability of the metal spur and the metal intermediate gear, terrible. What wheelbase are you going with? It's going to be, it's loosely set at 330 right now. It's probably going to be something around 330. After staring at the F100, I think I'm going to go the route of a channel chassis and leaf springs with a flat stake bed. Just need to figure out what chassis. See, I told you. I told the potato man. I was like, there's no way you're going to want to cut this thing up. You're not going to want to cut this thing up. And I'm like, I'm just going to ship it back to you because I can't drill holes in this. I can't. Mr. Knudsen did way too good of a job on that body. It's going to go on to something else. He's going to grab a cabbed or a tucked and slap it on that Gold Rush, and off he'll go. Factory team shocks are so nice, they really are. I probably won't buy another Element, not unless they release something that makes me want to buy them. And here's the thing. Did we or did we not discuss this? I feel like I'm in a time loop. I'm in a time hole. If Element produced a axle housing, front and rear axle housings that took AR-44 gears in them, all of a sudden, Element axles, Element parts, all of that Element stuff is all viable again. Stealth XF, I mean, I love an Element straight. They're really good. Except for that tiny ass pinion. That tiny ass pinion, maybe it's worse. Maybe it's worse than releasing a product with a leaky shock. Right? Like, leaky shock you can fix. You can't fix that too small of a pinion. It's improperly sized. And, well, you can fix it by throwing a $50 factory team at it, or you could just buy Mias nylon straights and then not worry about it. The cost of two Mias nylon straights cost about $10 more than buying two factory team ring and pinions. The way I get around it is I put an inner bushing in there so that the bearing can't fail. Yeah, I mean, I would choose an AR-44 over an Element all day too, because you have more adjustability. It's got a better ring and pinion. You can run reverse gears. You can do all kinds of things. And also, an AR-44 with a Stealth X, or better yet, pick a portal axle. Pro 45, F10P with a Stealth X, you have all the gearing and underdrive and overdrive options in the world. Elements like the Stealth X, fantastic. Everything around the Stealth X is okay. It's okay. But what they did, in my opinion, is they went too far to ensure that no one else would be able to use their stuff. They made everything just different enough. And there was genuinely no need to do that. Rocket. Not that. Okay. Can somebody just put your hand in here? I need one more hand. If somebody could put their hand in here. Now this should come out just about right. I'm going to go right there. Huh. All right. That's 91. That's 91. That is equal length front uppers and lowers. SSD straight are good for me. It's a better option with the Pro 44. The SSD straight are great, if not for whatever is the problem in the supply chains going on with SSD. Like, SSD's availability is spotty at best. And now, Mias nylon straights exist. I like the removable link mounts on Element axles tracks too. I wish more manufacturers would do it. Not just removable link mounts, removable C-hubs. Removable C-hubs is really nice. The ability to set your own caster, and we have the ability to set our own caster on almost nothing now. You can't do it on Traxxas. You can't do it on Vanquish. You can't do it on most Axials. Axial pretends the AR-44 doesn't exist. The AR-44 has a removable C-hub, but non-adjustable casters. Same for the Pro. I don't understand why splined axle tubes, I mean, I guess they must cost just that much more. Okay, so the straight rod end, and I obviously have to use straights here. The straight rod end, Boom Racing, yeah, Boom Racing, so good, but clearly they want you to use leaf springs. And they're like, if you don't want to use leaf springs, they're like, we'll go along with it a little, but mostly we want you to use leaf springs. It's a 55 again. Good thing I have so many. The fun part is trying to find two that are the exact same thing. I'm holding in my hand, completely out of frame, 455s that are all different sizes. That's a 50 in the 55. There we go. These are actually 54s, but you know what? We can do it. We know what length they need to be. I think you can fit the TRX6 hubs on opposite sides to give you more custody. Yeah, I think every single one here is mounted left to the right, right to the left, but you can't do it with the other ones, the GRCs. Can't do it with the GRCs. Boom racing is overpriced? Well, I think an argument could be made that it's all overpriced. Now, the BRX 70, BRX 90, those axles are outstandingly well made. They are as well made, if not better made, than Vanquish housings, than any other machined housing. And if you look at it through that lens, then they're not nearly as expensive. Because they'll sell you a complete axle for the cost Vanquish will charge you for a housing. You have that special link box and still have them in the wrong place? You know I do. You know I do. But at least if there's one positive, it's that if they're in the wrong bin, at most they're 5 millimeters away. Like there were some 50s in the 55s. But like before they were just dumped in a drawer, and that was a nightmare. This has sped it up a lot. Have you seen the Exo Team carbon bodies? I have not. I'm assuming that's the carbon hard bodies, so that people that are very heavily into the class 1 thing, they can run a carbon. I think they should be illegal. I mean, it's hard, but that is trending heavily towards pay to win. Because you're running your RC 4-wheel drive or your boom racing hard body, and then this guy shows up with his carbon hard body, which is half the weight of yours, and you can't afford that. But until rule makers adopt a pattern of rules of inclusion, this is just the way it's going to keep going. Said it before, I'm thankful that I'm not particularly interested in the competitive aspect of it, because the competitive aspect of this is just like every other competitive aspect, which is he with the deepest pockets can go the furthest. Yeah. $400. $400 for a body. Well, what was first, Boom Racing or Yeah Racing or any of those other blank racing brands? I feel like Yeah Racing has been around for a long time. But that could be perception. I think that's going to be real close. I think that's going to be real close. I know a guy with a carbon body for an SCX24. That body costs like $100 for a tiny cab. Only did look sick though. So he's got that going for him. Why is half of crawler bands named X Racing? That's an excellent question, to which I Can't imagine something. That feels like an Ask an AI question. So, what we have to do... Oh, God. I feel... As someone who has done this myself, and I think he already said he's going to bed, so I'm going to call Irwin out on this one. A good old Team Revolt. They say that the best advice is design something as if you are the one that's going to have to work on it. This is crazy. Like, making an adjustment or a change to this is Nissan 300ZX levels of disassemble the whole vehicle. Okay, I don't think I can use these rod ends because of the little chunky, this little fat part. The little fat part is going to hit the chassis for sure. Well, I think what a lot of it is, at least in the case of racing, I had never heard of boom racing before Tiny Toy Cars That Go Slow. So my knowledge of boom racing was non-existent. It is, however, possible, though, that they predate. You know, the company was around before rock crawling stuff. And they probably did stuff that was, you know, racing oriented. I had no idea that rock crawling was so new. 45 in the 50s. If I'm gonna, we're oh, by the way, we're in full Link Olympics at this point. We're full. We're knee deep in the Link Olympics. 35s. I'm trying to find a thinner rod end. Boom Racing and Charisma are sister companies. See, I didn't know that. I worked on a 300Z 2 days ago. Yeah, right. Racing has been around a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I figured, yeah, racing has been around for a good long time, which would lead me to assume that boom racing has as well, but I only know of them as crawler stuff, so. Okay. Trying to find thinner. That chassis looks like 20% carbon, 80% shock position holes. It's not far off. Okay. We can get this as flush as humanly possible, and we're going to do that. I just have to make sure that I select rod ends to get this out. I got to put this ball back in. Dang it. I got to build two of the same thing, and I got to get them out to about 91. I wonder if I can do the same end on both ends. I've got multiple. Don't mind me. It's just gonna. talk to himself at length here. We'll see how long the absolute fright fest of Front Link Olympics is going to take. The rear will be easy peasy. He says hopefully. Yeah, just drop that. You don't need that. Think I need shorts? It's too long. One. I can't use the HDs. Those won't fit. There we go. Yeah, racing happened during the first touring car boom. That sounds accurate. The 90s. That's your other one. You've got racing, all the brands that have racing in their name, and then you have team. Everything that has team in their name. Team Associated, Team Losi, Team Raffi. Everything was a team. That's a little too short. Son of a... It's right in between. It's right in between. Team Pickle, yeah. Lest we forget. Threaded on a rod end only to find out that it was too short. We'll thread on another one only to find out that it's too long. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. If we can get close, see how close we can get. Because the next step down from a 50 is a 45, and a 45 is going to be way too short. Lost the pliers in the beginning. Okay. Oh, it sure would be nice if this fit. 92? Ship it. 92. It's on. What's this week's new Team Ass re-release? It's an RC10, like 96 Worlds or something. Is their latest? So you're pretty much spot on. And here's the thing. Perhaps it is we who are out of touch, because they keep doing it. They just keep doing it. So there must be market for it. We're the old Otis brush works pretty good at spinning the rod ends on. And these are fresh, so they fight you every step of the way. Need to get holler balls in these. Keep setting stuff down where I can't see it. Double check. Make sure that's a 7. Is that 7.5? was like 7.2. That's 7.5. The factory team edition of the RC10, like modern shocks and carbon fiber goodies, only one I'd actually consider owning. I'm just happy it's not a Riri, you know. Yet, a 7.4. Whoa, that's tight. Pop that 7. Someday, I'll decide to just cut a chassis. What I'll do, here's my plan. Here's a future plan for future me. I want to pick out links and drive shafts and all the bits. And I want to attach all the links to the axles. And then I want to lay them in place and just cut a chassis to fit the links. So that all the links will be the right length. It'll be amazing. I won't have to link Olympic it. I'll just pick out the links. I'll be like, I know I want 90 lowers and this length uppers. And I want like 130 lowers and this length uppers. And I'll just set them all up and I'll jig it. And then I'll just cut out chassis rails so that they get to have one link mount hole. I'll know where all the link mount holes are going to go. Pipe dream? Probably. Y'all don't know. It could happen. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that broach ball with the skinny neck. Not the fat neck, the skinny neck. Broached ball, skinny neck, longer thread. Boom. That's two of the different lengths. Can you get me two that are the same length before I lose my mind? Fat neck, skinny neck, short. Skinny neck, short, skinny neck, short. Fat base. Fat base. But I did find two of them. Are these long enough? Okay, one just rolled off the bench. All right, it's gone. Isn't that kind of what you did with Jolly Green? It is. Well, sort of. Well, no, it is. I didn't choose the lengths. Traxxas did. But that is, yes, that is mostly what I did do. I think this might work. I think this... I don't want to get too optimistic. But I think this might work. Oh, yeah. Do that for the UTB 18 Beetle build? Hey! Now that's a good idea. I wonder if you can get Otis gun brushes here in the UK. Probably order them. I would guess from somewhere outside the UK. I don't think the gun market over there is quite as brisk as it is over here. That's just me guessing. God, these are going to be close. These are going to be so close. You know what? It is what it is. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Got one in. Note to self, that screw is they're called Otis T brushes in the UK. Will that be a collab for sale chassis? God, I hope I never do another chassis. God, I hope so. Oh my God. I had blissfully forgotten. And you know, I was largely hands off once the design phase was done, and I had the first prototype out, and then Zoku was kind enough to take over and do all the legwork on that. And just what a colossal pain in the ass. It brought flooding back all the memories of why I don't produce things for sale anymore. It's genuinely not worth it. I'm not in it for the money. And if I'm not in it for the money, I'm only in it for the self-punishment, I guess. I don't know. There's interpretation involved, obviously, but like, for the most part, everyone was great, right? And then there's the part that isn't great, and the part that's not great is the part that shines brighter in your mind than the part that is great. So it's just the complaining and the lamenting and above and beyond the complaining and the lamenting, the whataboutisms, you know, the armchair quarterbacking, et cetera, et cetera. Typically, just like everything else, there's plenty of people out there cutting rails. Yeah. And they're welcome to it, because, you know, luckily the ratio is still in the positive. Zoku's still selling them, I think. I don't know. Amazon US 10 quid for a pack of 3. Wow, I don't even think. Oh, the metally ones. Try to find these. These are Otis as well. Try to find these. These should be a lot cheaper. I think these come in like 12 packs. It's the same brush, and the thing is, I can't really use this one as a brush anymore. The head is knackered, as you would say over there, or at least as TV has made me think you would say over there. Does your gun brush have the blue end? It's like a gunmetal gray, and then the bristles is blue. And then these are the thread-on pieces. But this came out of a kit, out of a gun cleaning kit. So I buy these now that have the very firm bristles on this end. And these are kind of more of a medium. Blue bristle, like gray plastic handle. And even though they don't say it on it, I know they're real. Because they are all-purpose brushes. 10-pack blue all-purpose brushes. Made in America. Made in America! Yeah, toothbrushes have bristles that are way too soft because they're designed to be put in your mouth. Gun brushes are not designed to be put in your mouth. And when you're cleaning out stuff like gears and trying to get grime out of axle housings, a toothbrush is... You're in for a long day. A toothbrush, let's say. Yes, Otis brushes are available from gun shops here in the UK. Hey! Look at that! Well, you have to remember... Americans think you can only have guns in America, so it seems foreign to us that people in other lands would have guns at all, unless you're shooting your mouth off. Oh, you know what? I like that. I like a good play on words. That's a good word play. Always the 2% that ruin it for everyone else. Like, have you ever had to watch one of those sexual harassment videos? Who thinks any of those situations are okay? Then you realize someone actually did. Yeah. What was it? What was it on? Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen was just on some podcast talking about how he can't believe they've done something like 22 seasons of To Catch a Predator. Right? 22 seasons. So there are people that have to know this show exists, which is purely aimed around catching what term are we allowed to use on the internet where we won't get shut down or demonetized? Whatever you call those people have to know that show exists, but they catch people every week. Still catch PDF files. Yes, they're always combing through the documents for the PDF files. And the thing is, the PDF files they're still doing it. Like, Apparently, not that hard to catch. So yeah, yeah. So in the vein of the sexual harassment videos, yeah, you get sent to HR. Who would ever do this? And then you go, somebody had to do this to such a degree that they had to make a video about it. Wild stuff. A buddy of mine is doing temp work right now, and I was playing Borderlands, and up on my other monitor I have my screen that has the app that we chat back and forth on, and he goes, "Please send a bolt down from heaven and kill me now." He goes, "We're into the technology portion of the online training, and they're telling us how to use a cell phone." And he sent a screen cap of it, and it showed where the power button for the phone was on the side of the phone. And I was like, oh my God, are they, where are they finding the people to train that don't know how to turn a phone on? But you know, these people are alive. These people exist. They're out there. And now we find out, how painful is this going to be? Which one of the Pledge sprays are you using? I buy this one, Pledge Expert Orange, which, why would you put the orange in a yellow can? Lemon is in the yellow can, right? Right? You would all think lemon. Orange. It's orange in the lemon can, in the yellow. Like if you looked at it from this side and I said, what flavor Pledge is this? Everyone is going to say lemon. Get it at your local home improvement store or warehouse, because you can't get a can that, I know, gorilla hands, right? You can't really tell. This is a big can. This is a big can of Pledge. And I'm down to about like that. This is all I use it for. I've never sprayed this on wood before. They must be required to instruct the lowest common denominator. I was just watching a podcast where they were talking about how No Child Left Behind basically destroyed the entire education system because third graders don't know how to read. So it's all bad. It's all bad. Okay, there's one not bad part about it, which is we'll all be dead. Well, most of us will be dead before all of the impacts are felt. It's future generations' problems. You know when they say, when you say that's future me's problem, this is future them's problem. Okay, I got that one, and this side is really toit like a toiter. I'm gonna say that's a 16. Some teachers struggle to read. My whole life we've called that lemon Pledge. I didn't even know it came in other flavors. You have no idea, my friend, how stunned, shocked, I was agog. What was the Pledge for? Cleaning parts? Do I have anything gross on the bench? I did a really good clean because I had extra time and the cooler was on and I felt like I was more motivated. Oh, I got it. So, I mean, this isn't super dirty, okay? Right? This is just, it's a little smudgy around the middle, right? This is the only way we clean stuff around here. Give it a little bit of that. Grab your Otis. Give it one of these. Then it's not necessary, but it is remarkably helpful to have air. Have a lot of air in a small location. Like, see, I could just go all the way through this and not even need the air. We won't even need the air. And then this is how everything gets cleaned around here. And then bish, come on, you can do it. There you go. It's like new. It's like new. And it will help. It prevent. It won't build up dirt as fast. Stiff bristled brush Orange Pledge, clean parts. What's not to like? Oh, half-finished thought. I found out that Simple Green has more than one flavor. And I was like, what? No, Simple Green is green flavor. Everybody knows that. And the hang tag that was on the little shelf to tell you what it was named the default flavor of Simple Green. Does anyone hear that that doesn't fit? I can't get it in. This one, it doesn't go. I measured this. I give up. It's easier to just knock it out and put another one in. Does anybody not mint scented Simple Green? That's not Simple or Green. No, it wasn't. The other one wasn't mint. The other one was like a fruit scent. But it does continue the question. What? Whoa, wait. There's 7.56. What the actual? What color does Mr. Hurley think Simple Green is? No, better. What color does Mr. Hurley think Purple Power is? Simple Green is minty flavor. Simple Green is sassafras. The default scent for green Simple Green is sassafras. And apparently, it must be the only thing that is sassafras scented, because in my life, I can't recall anything ever smelling like Simple Green. Simple Green smells like Simple Green. It doesn't smell like anything else. I mean, that doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. 748, and I'm trying to cram a 746 in there. Simple Green reminds me of Jägermeister. So Jägermeister is licorice. It's black licorice. So anise. So I can see that. Sussa what now? Simple Green is gray. Purple Power is gray-blue. Pledge is yellow-gray. Oh, wow. Purple Power is green? Oh, my God. I wish they could make I want to see how other people see. I know it's impossible, but that doesn't make my desire any lesser. We're going to have to put a 7 in there. It won't go. Now, how stuck? Not stuck. 746. It's not going to fit. It's not going to fit. This is just adding to the pure joy that is Link Olympics. Hey, put that thing in there and take it out 9 times. 694. 7.5. 696. There's got to be one, right? This one says it's 722. Is there a burr on that piece of the axle? No. So that is a brass 7 that measured out for me at 7.22. Sassafras is not the flavor of root beer, but I like your thinking. That's sarsaparilla, which is something different entirely. Oh, you don't think I went down this rabbit hole? Okay, why is this... Did I grab the wrong link? This thing is 18 millimeters off to that side. I put these on the equivalencer. What is going on? Inside. This is all wrong. A 100% purple power in your pressure washer will remove anything. Yeah, I believe it would. I don't know what I did wrong now. Mixed an upper with a lower. I made new lower. So where is the... You're absolutely right. I didn't keep my piles separated enough. Yep. This is easy to fix. The one idiotic mistake I've made that is easy to fix. Now the question is, will the uppers be the correct length now? Look at all things considered. Okay, there's no way full compression is going that far. What is hitting? Oh, it's hitting right there. Okay, drive shaft. If the drive shaft fits, it's still poking it this way. Those should be, that should just be triangulated. Is it that link hitting? We get, that's straight. It's acting like those uppers are different lengths, and they are not. Drive shaft angle looks good. Okay, so that is full compression, unless I completely remake that upper. And right there, the shot, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Because if that is full compression, yep, we're good. We're good. We're good. If the drive shaft clears, we're good. I somehow managed to put my rear TRX4 axle in upside down. I've done it. Links suck. They really, really suck. We've all done it. You just do it more because you build more. Yeah. I feel that feels good to hear that, because I feel like I do it all the time. And usually the way I talk myself back from the ledge is like you were trying to pay attention to chat and conduct a live stream at the same time. And that does take the edge off. And it looks like well, no. I don't want to say anything. I feel like anything that I utter is going to be a jinx. I'm looking at the proximity of the upper to the drive shaft. I think we're okay. So to get more compression, we would have to run a high clearance link sideways, but we still get the articulation. We get articulation to there, which is too much. If anything, that's too much. And then on the other side, okay, nothing spinning is hitting anything that isn't spinning. You know what? Let's hold it together. Hold it together. See what's happening. Losing my mind. Seven 3. We'll let it wobble. We'll let it wobble. It'd be nice if that thing had stopped turning itself down. I think I built these for underslung, I think. Sounds right. Could be right. I don't know. We'll all find out together if we build a catastrophe. Building a catastrophe. Oh, that's not bad. I could put like one washer in there. How much spacer do we need? Like a lot. Yeah. This'll do. This'll do. 2 of those. These are 6 and 7, 13, 16, 20. Man, the hardest part about this is going to be getting the shock mount into the same hole on you know what? I keep scooching further and further away. Give you something to look at. Had the same thing going on and gave up 1 3-link with Banner. Giving up and going to 3-link is not usually what you hear. I want to see if the shocks allow it to triangulate, because you know these Capras, there's no triangulation on the upper. They're perfectly straight. And if we can emerge unscathed from the front end, and you know the jury is still out, like the spacer already rolled away, or I set it under something. I think I found another one. What's the minimum of spare parts needed to warrant a new build? Tires. If you've got a set of tires or a set of wheels, that's probably enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Yes, that one right there. Snug. Yeah, I mean, a set of tires. You might as well build a rig to go with those tires, or a body. You know, if you have an extra body. Come on. Let's see what the front end looks like here. I don't think that 27 is long enough. Boy, the bench really goes wild when we get into this. I do have other lengths. I think 30s. Yeah, 30 sticks through a lot. We're a little front heavy. If we were to scale it, and this can build to a servo. Don't put it past me. It looks okay. It's still wongus. It's still definitely pushing to one side. Not, is it? I can't tell anymore. I've lost all objectivity. Here's another one where we've got the hole. Yeah, the cycling looks... Yeah, we're probably going to want to go up a hole or two. I just needed some holes to get this thing. That's a lot of angle. That's a lot of angle. Definitely don't have to worry about putting the drive shaft in it or anything, I'll tell you that. All right. This is one of those moments. Are we still missing the Spaniard? I think this is a month. I think we haven't seen him in a month. I handed over the reins of the spreadsheet to someone else. Can any AM32 ESC be used for a crawler? So long as it can be flashed with a firmware that can be used with a crawler. So, I mean, somebody who knows more about the architecture of those things could give you an absolute yes or no. I'm going to guess no. So he does live? The Spaniard lives? Yeah, but the Spaniard was also doing the other stuff, like the website. Leave the kid alone. He's putting in work. Yeah, we're not telling him to show up. We're just, you know, just fell off the face of the earth. That is so long. Oh, no. We may have painted ourselves into a little bit of a corner here. That's not going to really help, dummy, because now the box is in the way. Boy, ask me how glad I am that I mounted up the motor ahead of time. Oh, best idea I ever had. Because it totally doesn't get snagged in everything all the time. I don't think I have a, I don't think the extendos will go this long. $180. About $180. Same type of ends. More for the bins. We miss taking the Mickey out of him directly. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Ew. Yeah, whatever brand, whatever this is, Mantis LC girder frame. Yeah, just throw the rod ends away. I am curious as to their size of the hollow balls. Hey, I have that transmission in front of me. I read it's loud. Used it before, a quick view already on it. The OD3? 5.6. Throw them away. Throw them away. If you get the Mantis, so the rod ends look basically like Mias. Let me grab a Mias. There's a Mias over here on the side. There's definitely more matte to this than these. They use a 5.6 by 7.3 hollow ball. They're probably aluminum. If the plastic's that's shiny, it's probably not a good sign either. Are they flexible? They seem relatively rigid. The hollow balls do not fit them at all. 5.6 is slightly too small. What if we cram a 5.7 into it? Yeah, these are 5.7 ends. So all of the hollow balls are too small. They also have a real waxy feel about them. So I'm not, like, I need more rod ends, you know? Yeah, these are circular file all day. You can save all those 5.8 hollow balls that come in other stuff, because as your rod ends wear out, you can pop the 5.7s out and pop 5.8s in, but you can't do anything with a 5.6. Mr. Hurley with the 5. Straight from the purple man himself. Come back here. Crap. Okay, what'd I say, 180? Right around 180? Let's see how close these get me. We are going to need angulared. Sure would be nice if the universe close but no cigar. Not with those at any rate. How about big old honkin' Jado? Revo? What's the longer one? Close enough. We'll say that it's we'll say it's there. It feels like it feels close. We definitely have enough shock mounting holes. So this looks like it's going to be a hair long. Any experience with the knockoff F10T aluminum axles? They are what's on Bruce. So if you want an axle that has been absolutely punished, those would be them. And surprisingly, that's a rear link for you. Am I right? That's a rear link for you. I think it's too long for the... Yep, this only goes out to 160. We got to get the big one. So we want something in the neighborhood of 180. This is like 184. Jeez. The links that I had hopes for are 20 millimeters too short. So yeah, F10Ts. Now, if I recommend to you the F10Ts, you know it don't mean nothing, because we'll have bought them from different vendors years apart. I have no idea. I would hope that they would be at least similar, but who knows? After the chavs on Mr. Hurley's build, like, it's all over the place. I've now bought 3 sets of Mia straights and had to replace the 830 gears in the rear axle. What bad? What, like, what for? What? Like, they're molded improperly, bad mesh, loud. Because I haven't changed any gears in the Mia straights that I've used, and I've done 5 sets now, 2 Capra and 3 of the regular. I'm not discounting your experience. I'm just wondering what it is, what was wrong with them specifically, so that I know what to look forward to. Skips and sounds like rocks in them. You put Vanquish plastics on Bruce's axles, didn't you, due to the kingpin issues? I wore out the factory ones. The screws had basically come loose, and as they wobbled around, it like wallowed out the holes. So yes, my knuckles are OE Vanquish on there now, just the regular plastic, non-weighted. But I ran the aluminum ones for a good long while. Yeah, 2 at 184. Here's hoping. This should just hinge forward nicely. This opening is 15 millimeters, which means we need 7.5s. These are 7s. Those are not the same. How do you fix the wobble in a Creeper T FMM? I'm assuming the wobble is due to it being a China clone. That is exactly that is exactly what is wrong with it. Typically, it is the spur gear. If you remove the spur gear and spin the wheels by hand so that it turns the whole drivetrain, the top shaft tends to be centric. It tends to be centered. It's not wobbly. And the same goes for the spur adapter. It tends to be the spur more often than not. I don't think I'm running the included spur with any of them. That's just how that seems to be. All right, I have the 1.5 out here. In theory, there's a 1.5 millimeter driver on this bench somewhere. There's a wrench. Okay. Just start putting things away. This is the only way it works. Presumably it could have rolled away on me, I guess. 7. I don't see it over here. It was under the bin of Mias rod ends. I'll make a little mark on the driver so I know when it's gone in there. What is the setup jig and how is the rear axle staying up and not rolling? Just the pressure of the plastic up against the wheel hex and the fact that the axle has never been run. If that axle had been run before, it would probably just go bloop. But this axle is fresh out of the package, so it's basically just fresh built resistance is what's holding that in place. Try to get these in the right order. Are we having a good time? I feel like I am. So long as that opening is 15 millimeters and these two 7.5s will fit. I need a third hand. Wait, I got it. Never mind. There. You never know. It might work. Since Mias doesn't have the 100 pack of rod ends, what other ones do you recommend? Have you said before that it would fit a plastic spur gear to an Amazon dig box? That you should. Yes, you absolutely should. Yes. How is the catch area working on your bench? Great. It's so much deeper. I wish if I had the forethought, the catch would be shaped like a hockey stick, and it would go. I'd have a full 90. I'd have 180 degrees of it. Because I tend to work facing where Chad is right here, and then stuff does roll off this way. But it is so much better because everything just fell off this way, and now everything rolls into there. It's pretty great. Okay, so it doesn't fit a 12. Should. Let's assume it's a 10. Just guessing. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Missed the hole a little bit. Okay, so with the Mias unavailable, what's my recommendation? In bulk ends. Oh, you know what? That brings something up to mind. I tend to just buy the Traxxas, and then what I do is sometimes I order off of mobile when I shouldn't. If anyone in the chat knows what TRA 7059 is, if this is a thing that you use, and you might need them ever, let me know, and I'll send you a whole bunch in a box or a bag or a mailer. But yeah, I use them all. I use them all. I use Incision, Traxxas Longs, that's what's on here. I use Traxxas Shorts. Element, I use more than anything. Element are my personal favorite. They are not inexpensive. It costs about $15 to do the links on one rig using Element rod ends, but they do fit the most places. Like up here where we had the issue of we didn't want, like most other rod ends would be hitting that drive shaft, but not with these because they're so skinny. So what is best and what I use and what I prefer are all apparently different things. Okay, now, our hope is that we don't have to take that off. And we are going to set this up with no carrier, as I don't have one. And I think at some point this will probably need a carrier. So my recommendation is buy the Traxxas. They come in like 12 packs, but they're fairly inexpensive. And they come with hollow balls that you won't use. So then you can unmount hollow balls, and then you too can have a whole drawer full of hollow balls. So we are definitely skid forward. We might be too heavily skid forward, as a matter of fact. We'll check this out once we have it a little bit centered. Okay, it's doing it again. It's doing it again where... It's like 345. Now, yeah, it'll actually be a little bit under that. And we need to know what the under is so that we can configure the uppers. Actually, this might get away with a single drive shaft. A double bend would be nice. A double bend would be preferable. And as a matter of fact, I want to look at that other double. Okay, because that's like 340. That's a little longer than I had hoped for. Shocks won't be an issue because, like, we would be right about... nobody's helping me. Still be right about there. It looks overly long. I don't know. Can you bend them yourself? Yeah, I can. Is this another class 1.5? No, this is the absolute opposite of that. This is definitely... Would it be worth it using tap on rod ends before using them on the rod? Or do you suggest that just using the rod ends to tap themselves on the rods? Oh. You mean pre-threading. On some rod ends, pre-threading is not a bad idea. Most of the time, I just hog them on here because I like to live hubristically, and I like to imagine that nothing bad could possibly happen, and we're going to get it right on the first try, when in reality, it tends to be right on the 10th try. And then I tend to go through a lot of rod ends because I'll grab another rod end or another link and it will turn out, oh, too bad. That one is, yeah, you know what? I think I might go to these fat doubles. We're going to pull it in. I think 340 is too long. I think 340 is too long based on what my intentions are. I have intentions, which I have not, and I will continue not to make clear, other than the fact that this is definitively the opposite of class 1.5. Well, that's the big end on there. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Because we're going to be running 18%. We're going full fork on this one. I run an M4 screw into new rod ends, keeps me from cross-threading them on the rod. Yeah. Or tap. You know. Tap, same thing. Screw will definitely do it for less. So these are shoulder to shoulder. These are 134s. Shoulder to shoulder. So they were probably, I would guess, 140s before they were bent. If you're going class 3, it doesn't matter how long it is. Only if I have to turn. And when you get out that long without additional overdrive, it gets hard to turn. I've lost it. I've lost all of it. It's all lost. Okay, here's the one that I'm pulling the ends off of. Now, what happened to the one that I already pulled the ends off of? This is going to end. This is only going to end in tears. 2 weeks in a row, there is that guy dropping the hundo. And he can't come back to California. They won't let him back in. That cooler is doing everything it can right now. And I can feel it getting hotter in here. 78 in the building. You keep going, cooler. You keep going. My watch says 101. So the thermometer out on the course is going to say 106. The crappy rod ends are these. The Pothias. They came with this. And I have another one. The Sawtooth. Let's see if he hits any of the Dodgers. Earl, West RC Fab, Quick Ren, RC and more. Go Crawler RC, that's familiar. I think there's a sticker of it around here somewhere. Yeah, it's right there. Do you have a lathe? I do. But not something that I can operate in the midst of a live stream. Have I made links before? Yes. High clearance and straights. But I live my life by the woodworker's philosophy, which is, if I can't get it, I'll make it. But if it exists, why would I make it? Just use what I already have. Yeah, those couple of British dudes. We had 32 this morning, and now it's almost 70, and I live in the 3rd floor of a house. Oof. That's where all the heat goes. All the heat is hanging out with Mr. Hurley right now. I think this is going to be a lot more reasonable, and it's still hecka skid forward. So did you ever see if you could make me a set of 185 millimeter links? You know that I didn't. I mean, can I? Yes. Did I have the time to do it? Absolutely not. Like, there's a reason that I'm often doing rig maintenance during live streams, because I don't have any other time to do it. I have to film 6, sometimes 7 videos a week. Last week, I don't know if anyone was paying attention. I certainly wasn't. There were 8 videos last week. That's not a sustainable thing. Yet, somehow I keep doing it. Before I pop those out, let's see if the 7.5s actually even fit. Okay, that one does. That's how the capper went. Yeah, that was the price of no test drive. If you don't, that's why we ghost ride, and I didn't. I was just like, oh, it's fixed. And you know what it wasn't? Fixed. It was definitely not fixed. It's fixed now. I'll say that. Yeah, 185 millimeter, you're going to need about a 160 millimeter link, which is something I would have to make because I don't think I have anything that long. I think, actually, I might. I just realized I have these might actually be too long. Yeah, that's 185. Wait, did you say you need a 185 or 185 eye to eye? Because this is a 185 link. So end to end, this is 185, which means it would build a link about 205. I hope not to get that skid forward. 25, 30, yeah, I have a couple sets of links that are too long to be useful for anything. I know, does anybody know of a manufacturer that makes a link long enough for me to get 185? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you only need a link about 160. You should be able to find that from most places. Okay, that's not bolted in. Seven point fives are fitting in a lot better here on the back axle. Is there going to be a true fixing and fix video? Yes. Already done, as a matter of fact. It took far, far longer than I could have wanted it to, and the suspected broken component turned out not to be. Absolutely nothing wrong. So the time spent in the live stream and then the additional time spent here in reality fixing it didn't fix any of it. Now, what time for rear lengths do you have to make your own because they don't make them long enough? Or for what? Yeah, it's usually length, or if I need like a more of a bend, And my first will be to try to bend an existing link. I'm contributing to the shipping cost on the HC6 because I know that guy will be spendy. Oof. Yes, it will. And literally, it'll be one of the first times we're shipping something that the weight of it will be more of an issue than the size of the box that it's in. Because the HC6 is really heavy. How are those new Injora shocks? Okay, so limited spoilers as you guys are here in small number. You know, not everybody shows up for the live streams. So there's going to be a Tuesday update, like weekly. That I just do that. After I go out and I do my nonsense, I come in here right after it, before I go into recording, because I have to do other recordings. So before I go into the other recordings, I just do a wrap-up of how things are going, like the test procedure and whatnot. So the spoiler of the early episode on Tuesday is that the Injora shocks did not make it. So I waffle about it a bit in the upcoming Tuesday update because, you know, it is ultimately up for you to decide. But let's put it this way. The most full shock after the typical Tuesday morning shenanigans was about half full. They were run conventionally, springs down. They did not make it. They are off the vehicle. So, you know, will I be buying another set? Well, I am going to rebuild them, and I'm going to refill them, and I'm going to run them inverted on someone set up to run 90s, because I think, honestly, that a rock crawling application is far less severe on shocks, which is what's so alarming about the fact that most quote-unquote crawler shocks will barf all their guts out in a pure rock crawling application. Like, the fact that Baseline's inverted K&Ks, those inverted K&Ks have been on there since the Quick View, right? They've been on there ever since. They still feel pretty good. They've lost a little bit of oil, but they've lost about as much oil as you would expect them to lose, being on a guy that does more self-writing in a given month than typically people will do in their lives. So that kind of yaw loading on shocks is really harsh on them. So what the pickle has to do is about 3.8 miles every week at about 3.8 miles an hour. And I mentioned it in the upcoming update. It all looks like single track out there. I mean, it looks like double track, dual single track, because the vehicles drive out there, and then what's in the middle is either grass and weeds or rocks or all of the stuff that gets kicked out of the tire tracks. So you can just watch the suspension just bouncing like balls the whole time as it's going. And I knew that they were going to be down a little bit on oil. Like, no one except the GTS comes out of that unscathed. But I was like, the oil, what is left of oil inside of those Injoras is crystal clear. You can see straight through to the piston. It wasn't frothy, nothing like it. It did not hold it in. And I was foolhardy. I had my hopes. I had my hopes up a little. I was like, $26. The K&K got the Traxxas treatment. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure. Yes, they did. They got everything in them except Traxxas bladders, I want to say, because the bore on the shock or the body of the shock is a little bit smaller. I'm having to dig back into the memory banks. I don't fully remember. But yeah. And then, such a thing, I don't know if this is correct. It looks okay. So I'm still, despite all indications the other way, I am still hopeful for the Injora shocks. Yeah, they're really thin. They look really good. They feel amazing when they're fresh built. It's just that they had to go a little bit, like the 3.6 millimeter shaft is a bit of a killer because you're not going to get seals that fit that right. Trust me, you will want to buy them. I've bought many Injora shocks and they don't last. I mean, it's turning into a this is turning into a chasing waterfalls kind of scenario. We should all just stick to the rivers and the lakes that we're used to, I'm starting to think. This is an instance that I think we could use the jig, but we've gotten this far. Screw it. 165. Eye to eye, and we're going to need offsets on both. Hopefully we can just do these with Mias. What, 165? I feel like I said 165. Pretty long. That is 120, 125. We might get to use up some of the new Vanquish titanium sourced via tower. That's a 126. Okay, if anything, it'll just kick our pumpkin back a little bit. Chaptex and Clone K. Well, be careful with the Chaptex because you might have an able to set in the air. I hope this is at least just close. Just get me into the ballpark, into the neighborhood. There is a special power that lies within Link Olympics, which is the ability to dilate time. Where I don't feel like I've been doing this as long as I have, and at the same time, I feel like I've been doing this even longer. Yeah, I feel like one of the laser people could probably... Oh, it's like 164. I feel like one of the laser people could laser out a chassis setup jig pretty easily. I think I have to pop all of the hollow balls out of these again. The two mods are doing okay. Thought about sending 2 pairs of Vanquish shocks. I mean, if you want to get rid of them, I'm the guy to get rid of them with. I will. When I get into the builds that require them, I will contact Vanquish. It's not on the whiteboard, so it's not fully official, but it is in my mind. I'm going to be like, hey, I need seals for like 10 sets of shocks. Be careful when you fold space and time. You have to travel through the hell dimension. That's true. That's true. We don't want to get all Event Horizoned out here. Does your brain ever forget that Sam Neill was in both Mouth of Madness and Event Horizon? That dude goes to hell a lot. And Jurassic Park, which is kind of a hell. Like, depending on how you feel about dinosaurs. I rooted for the dinosaurs. What are the middle set of holes for on the jig? I think their intention, it comes with 2 of these little skewer guys. I think that they intend you to put the little skewer through and use it to like set links across or set rails on. But I've never really used them that way because for whatever reason, everything I seem to try to lay out doesn't line up with anything. rods to go across the support skid. Yeah, but the skid is dead in the center, which is the weird part. I realize if I try to move this, it's going to fall apart. I have to unbolt the shocks anyway. I just remembered that the rear body mounts slide over the rails, so it's a good thing that those aren't tightened down. Nobody there. I felt like a breeze. I mean, there's nothing but wind blowing on me. Felt like a cool breeze. Weird. What is the chassis under a gatekeeper? Then I could get away with buying in a gatekeeper cage. It's Element. It's just Element only makes one chassis. They're newer. They're new. They didn't even bother to call it V2. The chassis at the back has more holes in it in order to change to all the different wheelbases, because they've got an inch of difference between the shortest wheelbase on actually over an inch of wheelbase change on a Bushido versus the wheelbase on a Gatekeeper. But it's the same rail. Element just has one rail. Off topic, I'm thinking about running megalithic 4.19s with Endura Blue inserts on my Class 2 Wizard with the Grandpa body. Thoughts? Unless it's quite heavy, the blue might be too firm. The blue might be too firm. What keeps the clear rails from being skewed? The knuckles? Oh, yeah. Well, that don't try it if you don't have your tie rod hooked up, because then it will not square for you. So I guess the answer to that is nothing. You could skew it. Yeah, Class 1 Wizard sounds pretty cool. I'm just worried that the blues will be a little too stiff. Because in Class 1, megalithics, still, you know what I would say? Unless you're going to put it in the water, I would say try running it on the included foams first. Start there. Because a Wizard is not heavy. I almost feel like for sure blues are going to be too firm. I don't think I run the blue Class 1s at all. Why so many 30s? McMaster doesn't sell a bag of all threaded M3 by 30. Good, I don't need one. I need a 27. Excellent. I did. We do need to build the rear drive shaft. So there you are. Find out. Now we find out. It's just all FAFO, isn't it? Isn't that the whole process? Just continually finding out. That is going to be one heck of a rear drive shaft as well. I am probably going to have to order something that is long enough. Now, probably going to order two to fit, you know. I don't know if this is the shock. No, those are definitely not in the same hole. Any thoughts on using BBs as ballast? It's going to make your bumps, if you need a bump, it's going to make your bumps weird. Because any amount of wheel speed brought up, them BBs ain't going to move fast enough. So they're kind of going to go, whoa. I don't know. Ballast that you can't control is kind of like using chassis flex as a feature. Oh, it's better because the chassis flexes, but you have no control over that flex. You can't, and also you don't know how much the flex is. Like, we know what a spring rate is, and that spring rate is going to stay the same as long as the gravity is the same where you're driving. So flexi chassis weights that are sloshing around in the tire. I don't know. Give it a try. You know, costs you a couple minutes of taking things apart and putting them back together. Yesterday I was a Jeep running around with Mickey Thompson Pro XS's on it. Had to be 40 inches. First time I've seen it in the wild. They're gnarly. I saw them and I said, "Oh look, tusks." That they are. I think I want this one. If that lines up, we might be in business. I have no complaints so far. Here's my thing. I've not investigated it enough to say it one way or the other, but I would be willing to reckon that moving weight inside the tire, that out of control, like you don't have any control over where that weight is going. I think if you saw it happening, like if a lot of guys were running it, this would indicate higher potential for viability. That is not to say that everything that you see people doing is a good idea. I think we're free. Mias had Capra ring and pinion sets on sale, $12. Oh, I need more. I'm going through 833s the most. Still have a handful of 830s, but I need 833s. I'm getting all, because I have so much wind blowing on me, I'm getting all verklempt. Oh. Yeah, that's one hole back. It's a lot of holes. A lot of holes. That's still one hole back. There we go. Brushless with FOC are amazing, but do you think a brush motor is more comparative to full scale? Yes, absolutely. I don't think there's anything that exists in full scale that can approximate what field-oriented control does. Right? Like just like the power, it's power never ending. I don't know. It's kind of okay. We've got a do jab. We need this one or this one? I think we need this one. What is that? 8? Let's go 8. Oof. I know they call English cucumbers burpless, but not always. Oof. I've got the cucumber burps going. Okay, where do I think this should go? We'll just go in the forwardmost. We'll go in the forwardmost. We'll go right here. Why on earth do the BDX Capricorn axles come with double OD gears? Oh, because they recognize that what's going to happen is people are going to buy those axles and they're going to take them and they're going to slap them on something that's not a Capra, right? If you take Capra axles, which have a fairly stout level of gear reduction due to the portal gears, and you pair them to any 3-gear gearbox, you're going to have an incredible amount of gear reduction. OD3 with Capras, not that anyone would do that. OD3 with Capras is a whole mess of gear reduction, to the point where you have to do something like run 4S which is what I'm going to do, with a 2300. Because I want to say at the output on this, it's something like 14.66 is the number that's in my head. I'd have to look up the gear chart for the OD3 again. But, if you have the regular 830, that's 3.75, multiplied by the 1.92 of the portals, so that's 7.2 to 1 on the axle, and then you times that by the 14.66 out on that, that's 105 to 1 on that. God, I hope my math is wrong on that. Let's just go with a regular Stealth X, which, if we have 87 divided by 18, is 4.83 times 2.6 times 7.2. A Stealth X with these axles is 91 to 1. So that is why they run 824s in them, because then you have 3 times 1.92, which is 5.76 times, what was it, about 12.75? That gets you down about 70 to 1, which is still quite low. Element's method of going about it is they put 1520s in for the portal gears, which is only what? 1.25? 1.33. So that's the least amount of portal reduction, other than a Wizard, which has none, which has no portal reduction. This still has a pin in it. That helps. I don't have to go get a pin. Nah, I do. Doesn't help at all. So I'm not going to worry about seeing if this needs shimmed or anything. We'll get to that later. The axles will probably need a shim on them. Kind of always have in the past. There's a chance that we could make this move. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. So typically, what do we have? Not enough gear reduction. So we have to go to lengths. Except in the event of mating, you know, a Stealth X and TRX4 axles, or a Stealth X and Mias Capras. Yeah. I don't know if we can frame it all at once. Okay, just look at the hex. It's a lot of reduction. Like, we don't have time. We haven't even gotten half a revolution on the hex yet. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Nice. Okay, I didn't tighten these down. Good. He remembered one thing in his idiotic life. Now, we got to put tires on it. Are these big or are these 4s? These are 4s. All right. I'll just grab any 4. Matter of fact, I'm aiming for less new ones. Okay. Zoop. You'll find out in a minute. And I'm going to have to zip tie all those wires up. Yep. I mounted these up this morning, and it went okay. Honestly. Wasn't that bad. Yeah, I think I prefer. Although it doesn't matter, it's not going to move in this configuration. I don't know why I'm. What screw did I leave out? Didn't put it in earlier. Oh yeah. You're talking about the one that's behind on the third member in the front. That's not a problem. That's not a problem yet. Because I have to make a screw for that. I can get to that any old time. I might be able to ghost ride this thing, like, sooner than I thought. The drive shaft, oh man, the drive shaft just gets below the rear lowers. This thing should break over pretty good. I don't know if it's going to break over as well as that giveaway rig did. That thing was real waspy wasted. But that thing didn't have something that this thing does have, which is, holy crap, levels of ground clearance. Okay. We'll put these on here in a moment. Did I center the servo? No, I'm going to, that's a good call though. I'm just going to pull that horn right now. Okay. All right. So somebody said, are you going to put rock bumps on it? And I was like, nah. It really ups the ridiculousness factor when we're right here. Looking at it right here, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Now I'm thinking 340 might not have been so ridiculous. That's what did we get? Where are we? No. Would you believe it if I told you that it's 313? The Sedona at 313 is nonsense. I'm here for it. Tires stay out of the links at full lock. I don't know. Did we just build a monster truck? Okay, we're gonna have to cut the fenders a little bit. Look at that thing. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm here for it. How much of that body's gonna have to get cut off? Not much. If we might as well just mount it monster truck high, right around there. Probably on the inside. That's what I'm thinking. Outside would be easier. We're going to go on the inside. These slide over like this. Outside would be so much easier. Yeah, outside it is. Outside it is. I think the way the rear sits is kind of okay. About there. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be one of those guys where deception is going to run amok. Because you're going to see it and you're going to go, well, that's a monster truck. Oh, it definitely isn't. Definitely isn't. I like that the rear doesn't sag at all when you when you take the parts off. Did I check to see if that line? It does. Okay. Should be right there. Is the Mantis more UA1 or VRD? I would say more UA1. More UA1 flavor. Just without the big weird link risers. All right, and now the front body mounts. One big long screw. We're not going to use a shock long enough. Probably going to go to the. I like that. I like that. Give me the ball end. Does anybody else watch their mobile with their phone horizontal? Does it push the chat box past the bottom of the screen? I thought it put the chat box over on the side. But I've only opened like one live stream on mobile. So don't quote me on that. I feel like I don't know if it's gonna help. I feel like I should do it anyway though. Puts the chat on the side, vertical puts it to the bottom. Yeah. Just starting the threads in the body mounts. How long has the Mantis been in a box? I forgot that I had most of this stuff. Tires were in the bottom of the box. These wheels, which were they're hot racing. They were on clearance somewhere. I think they were $20. All those links were in there. All these drive shafts were in there. The servo, all the electronics. I must have bought this 2340 for it because it's not getting moved from something else. That's brand new. I don't know how any of this happened. Vertical gets you more chat. Horizontal gets you more canyon. We're going to try to go right. Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Problematic. Okay. The chassis ends. If I go all the way out in the front, I can maybe just catch a piece of hood. Yeah, and I'm just going to cut the rear. Well, I'll cut the rear wells as needed. I was definitely gonna go too far back with those. Okay, take it easy. It's 3D printed. Don't go crazy. And then we'll use a long screw to put the post in, and then I'll put a lock nut on the back of that if I can. I'm starting to think that maybe I can't. I'm thinking too far into the future. I'm thinking of where the time is ticking. Which is obviously into the future. I always have fun. I drink the milk of the poppy. I read Milk of the Puppy. Okay. We need. Oh, I grabbed a Vanquish brace. Is this the right width? Kind of is. Is this wall-eyed? Yes, it is. Ooh, hey. Happy days, happy days. Yeah, without something to support these, we need something. Okay, this is the right length, and I don't have to dig bins to get it. It doesn't fit a 10. It's an 8. We'll change to something else if need be. The flimsy plastic brace will definitely do for today. The speed control choice is, well, we don't have to worry about that hitting. The speed control choice is Secure 120. Did you see I found a Deadpool antenna ball? I did. I'm somewhat envious. And by somewhat I mean a lot. I dug through my bins to find something that lined up with the holes in the chassis, and it turned out to be the Element bumper delete. A for stiffening, B to give me something to hold it by, something to pick it up by. It's a handle. It's so tall. It's so... Why are you so tall? So tall. Now, let's see again. Okay, so the body mounts would be better off way towards the back. Yeah, because these are inline. Wait. No, that'd be okay. Floppy. I can get right there. I think we're going to go with right there. Because if I go right there, I can get the clips. This, how monster truck is this? A lot. So we can't go, let's go back a little bit. I feel like it was pretty monster truck before, but I don't think we're gonna have the body quite that high. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We're gonna drop that body down legitimately like a half an inch. The back of the body, the body is basically, okay, so the body is tip to tail 445, and this thing from the front of the lug to the back of the lug is 445. So we've built a thing. Do it. Did you just pre-build your JCon kit? We can set them next to each other and see which one looks more monster truck. Yeah, these are the OGs. These are 2.2 HPI hot body Sedonas. These are the 99 plus tire, which are like, you can do the stick them together. Stock foams. Yeah, these are gonna go. Yeah, it needs a little bit trimmed out. Honestly, because of the width and because of the size of the tire, optimally, it needs the wheelbase to be about 4 millimeters longer. Because I need the front body posts to be right there. It's the only place they can go. Because of how short the rails are. It's more ridiculous. It's more ridiculous from the sign. So I'm thinking right there. Right there. Check our math off the center rib. 44 and 46. So we need to go outside and inside. That's how we do it. We're going to eyeball it. Also, it's not as if the front end can't wiggle. The body's going to act like a frame stiffener. Woo-wee! I will tell you the advantage of putting your body post right here. That body is thick right there. Real thick. We're gonna, yeah, we gonna trim. The Ghost Ride is going to determine trim requirements. Okay, let us start. Snippies! Wait. Do smaller? Okay. What do we need for this? 17, 18. We'll do an 18. 18 can poke out. All right. Wait, nope. No. We need flat heads. I'm starting to feel. I'm waiting for something to happen. Because once we got through the front linkery, and yes, would I like more caster for steering so that front servo isn't leaning down like that? Well, sure. But would I also like an absolutely laser straight driveline angle? I kind of like that too. Let's go right here. So, might have been imperceptible. The twitch as it went into my finger right there. Look at this one. Looks like I've got a disease. It was these. Because they are a screw from the back and then a lock nut on the outside. So I had my finger out here holding it down. And then it would start to spin. I don't know how many holes I partially drilled into my own fingers this morning. But it was a couple. It was definitely a couple. These are VRD body posts. And that front looks like it might be suspiciously close to the right length. That feels really nice. That's a little low. That's a little low. Like, I would probably prefer to be a little higher than that. Unfortunately. I want to be there. Like, there. I don't know. Because the lower we go, the more I gotta trim it. You know, I am loath to chop up a body. just gonna, like, there's a little line on the fender. I'm just gonna have, oh, coffee drink. Chassis looks so high, like it should be half an inch down. Like that's okay. Like, to get level, we would be right there. You know what? I think it probably is okay on those body mounts. That probably is okay. I wonder if these slidey bits are oriented such that you can fit them either way. Because if I can fit them either way, yeah, for a tire this big, it's only the lugs. Yeah, just the little fender flare is going to have to get cut off. I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. And the chassis sits at kind of a squat. So now I'm wondering if I shouldn't just level the body via the posts. Do you have a forged body? I do. The skid should be level with the axles. Not on this thing. It's look at the kick. Like, if you have the front, the links are going to be past level. Yeah, there's no way. Unless I change all of the front links, there's no way I can get that front to come up enough. Although, I shouldn't say no way. There's a little bit of a way. Nope. Fingers ain't that strong, buddy. Let us go. Why is that so tight? Up and back one. Right there. So instead of raising the rear, let's lower the front. I mean, if you want to talk about shock mounting options, I don't know if I can lower the front end down enough to get the front of the skid even with the pinion. That would also give a horrific pinion angle. Right there. Yeah, right here I can feel the link hitting the pumpkin. That's why we can't get any lower than this. I would have to go high clearance, which we won't rule out. That's not going to affect the way the body sits. Okay, the chassis is now much more level. If anything, sitting a little low in the rear, which, again, is easily repairable. Let's go back. I was going to say back 2, and then I dropped everything. So let's go right. Let's try there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, this is just bench setting. We don't know how any of this is going to work. The front link position, the upper link position is pretty much fixed. There's not much I can do about that one. Also, if we move this back, what I want to do is I don't want to set this up such that, hey, got it symmetrical. I don't want to set it up such that I can't go to a different shock. We have all those different holes. If this shock doesn't turn out to be the shock that does the thing, I don't want to have the body mounts in the way. But I think if they're all the way forward like that, I think that still works. Yeah, we're sitting level now. And I'm not mad about the depth of the chassis. Honestly, I'm okay with that. It really does scream monster truck. hide. PSA, if you kill the battery in your L-Dark radio, don't charge it in the radio. There's no battery protection circuitry. Pop goes the 18650. Yoy. I charge all my batteries on the Opus C3100. I think there's a new one now, like the 3300 or the 3400 or something like that. I try to tell people, if you have more than 2 18650s in your life, buy once, cry once. Buy the Opus. It's flawless, and I own far too many 18650s. Some of them of whose quality I am skeptical. I need. Oh, is that short enough? No. I need a straight edge. It's only like a few. It's like that wide. I need something that's about that wide. What have I got? I've got this thing that came with stickers, don't I? There. That'll do quite nicely, so. Then we're going to guess. The front's kind of holding it, but we'll see. That's right. It's like 20 millimeters. That's like 25 millimeters. Scooch. Give it a little scooch. Got 22. 24. Only get to do it once. Say 23. I'll call that 23. Don't move. Nobody move. Then we find out if we have to throw all that away, because we don't know if this is lined up with a hole. But it is. Punch them. Mash it up. Ooh. So this is the Slim Tuck. Is what this one is. The one that has the hilarious front grill on it. You know, I got to catch them all. So when I saw this one, I was like, ha 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 ha, and I added it to a cart. The front grill is genuinely hilarious. My only goal is to do better than Dick Van Dyke. That's the height of my goal for my terrible Cockney accent. I do a Cockney accent about as well as a typical American does. Or no, let's say no. Let's go one step higher than Dick Van Dyke. If my Cockney accent is better than Carl Urban's Cockney accent, and if you go Carl Urban did a Cockney accent, apparently Billy Butcher in The Boys, he's supposed to be doing a Cockney accent, and I never once thought he was doing a Cockney accent. So that shows how good his Cockney accent was in The Boys. At least in my interpretation. When somebody said, "Oh, he's doing a Cockney," it was on a podcast or something. And they were like, "That's a Cockney accent." I was like, "No, it isn't." Dick Van Dyke is a legend. Even Dick Van Dyke would later say that his interpretation of it was kind of made up on the fly. I don't know. It would be too much to ask. Okay, I'm not even going to go all the way through with the screw. I just want to see. Grip it and rip it. And I picked the right length. I wouldn't have believed it myself. I just got a set of the Amazon Dravtex. Anything I should be on the lookout for? Odds are it's not going to have anything in, well, okay, it depends. Odds are most likely they're not going to have pistons in them, at least nothing that's usable. It's just how the way it seems to be. That's not working. That's not working. So you're probably going to have to replace the pistons. If you are lucky and they're newer, you can get functional pistons, but the functional pistons are 4-slot and work best with 80 weight or heavier oil. So if you don't have 100 weight oil, it's often more economical just to buy TRA 2669s and put Traxxas pistons in them, because it's your choice. You can either buy pistons or you can buy oil. The seals are going to be terrible across the board. They pretty much all are. So you're just going to throw those away. That's 2362s. So you're going to spend $10 on seals and pistons all in. $5 for 2362s and $5 for 2669s. And then other than that, unless you get the Mr. Hurley set, you should be pretty good. Like, the tolerances on his are terrible. Terrible. And typically, why you need 2362s is the bladders. I've seen a couple sets come now with something approximating a bladder, something that almost looks like a serviceable bladder, but for the most part, terrible. Like a flat piece of silicone that is not going to do the job. Did we? Have we? Could it be? 15 minutes? Holy cats! Okay. I do not have, get this, I get paid in, well, I get paid on the 21st, but not if the 21st is a Saturday, so I get paid on Monday. I don't have an RC4GS. I have an RC6, and then I have another RC6, and then to go with that second RC6, I have a third, yes, you guessed it correctly, RC6. So what I either need to do is wander around the fleet and find somebody who's to replace their RC4 with an RC6, or for today, because I have it on hand, we've got this Airtronics MX6, which is honestly perfect for this, because this rig is going to live its whole life on 2 channels. My God, the receptacles on this are incredibly tight. Good. They don't mess around either. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's throttle steering aux. Does he have a charged battery? Yes. Do you have any RC6s? I'll have to look. But, I might. I cleared the model. So this should be reasonably straight. We're going to have to be a little bit careful. I can't go twisting that wheel because these endpoints are not. It is reverse. $60 kg on the axle. Definitely moves Sedona's without a problem. Let's just take it down, you know. Ooh. That's a lot of throw. We can't even get all the way. I was worried. Now, have I torn my own wires out before? Oh, absolutely. Oh, guys, oh no. Oh no. Okay, so we're just going to do it by reversing it. So we're just going to reverse throttle channel because it's soldered up so that it's, you know, it's backwards. I don't know if we can position this such where you can see the, okay, there's the Rhino logo. It might not be that bad. So to anybody whoever had the earlier question about are OD3s loud? No, they typically aren't. They're typically one of the quieter options. Oddly, I'll classify it as oddly. Oddly, most of the Amazon gearboxes pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. What's the max steering on Mia's cheat code axles if you trim the stops? No idea. I've never bought cheat codes. I imagine the same as these. They'll get about the same angle. These don't have cut stops either, but I mean, we're just touching, and we're just touching, and that horn is as far as it will throw. To get any more steering, I would have to go to a horn slightly longer than this one, and that would be a choice. We would recognize from a distance what we were exchanging in order to get that, which is the horn won't be as good of an angle. It's going to be pushing it out like that. As long as it goes full throw. Hey, Dieselatic Ryan is on his way. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm almost on my way out, too. You almost made it to the very end. Yeah, it is definitely plenty of reduction. I'm hoping that I'm remembering the OD3 wrong and that the actual final out is like 10 or 11 to 1. Because if that's the case, we'll be absolutely fine. And we do have 4S is on the table as an option. Look at the stuff. Look at the stuff that I have to unbag. The stuff we didn't use. It just, I'm infatuated with how much it looks like a Stampede. You set toe out or straight. If possible, whenever possible, I want zero neutral, no toe. Because I want my steering, I effectively want my steering to be symmetrical. So, and I did a test of it. Is this a giveaway rig? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, this is mine. Not that I build them any differently. I didn't throw anything specifically premier at this, but everything I bought for this was for this. Will it cyclone? I don't think we've got the velocity. Maybe on 4S, it doesn't feel like it'll have the velocity. Oh, the wires aren't quite long enough to set them on top of the bed. So I'm reluctant to. Yeah, it's definitely got enough gear reduction. And this doesn't particularly have an overwhelmingly smooth trigger. definitely got the low though. It just, the ergonomic of the radio feels super weird to me because, you know, it's just RC4s in my hands all day. So holding onto this feels foreign. I'll go around. I'll go around to somebody who's still fitted with a V2. That is a thing that I'm doing, you know. I'm going through and finding all of my, this is a Secure 120 for the ESC, and I'm pretty sure it's the smaller BEC version. It's not the 10M BEC version. And then it's a Rhino S12 2340 for the motor, which is more than enough. In fact, probably too much of enough, honestly. And if the skid wasn't at as big of an angle as it is, honestly, I think you could put I think I could have put an Elite in there. I think I could have just fit a Fusion in it. I mean, there's just a big hole. Like just slap an Elite in there. But if I was going to slap an Elite in there, then I would definitely go to receiver powered servo, because we've got a bigger BEC to handle it. If this was the 10M BEC, but I don't think it is. I tend to buy, where did you find Sonotas? Let me see if we can get them to sell out. Oh, out of stock. So I got them. This is where I would go, and they've only just now. This is the first time I've gone back to Hobby Rec, and they've been out of stock. They probably still have Rovers. I know this because Hobby Rec is the place that I go to get all of my Louise. Can you mount a Fusion to an OD3? Yes and no. Well, yeah, like here I could. I would probably whack the front of it into rocks quite a lot. This one is very safe. Although I say very safe, but when you have, let's just do this. That way next time we go about this, I'll have the electronics mounted. You know what? I might just keep this for this. Like, this is the get it moving on the bench radio. Very easy to hook everything up. Very easy to set all the endpoints and whatnot. So I will satisfy my own curiosity if no one else's. So I would typically be running this guy most likely on an 850 just because it will nestle more nicely on the side there. And then it's going to get a similar receiver. Let's see what we're working with. I mean, do you need a lift plate to fit a Fusion 293? Sometimes. This one, I'm using the adapter, so the whole gearbox is lifted. There are a number of applications where if you go to fit the motor will sit too low without that riser plate. So the whole gearbox is lifted up that amount. Unless you're using the gear, the plate that came with it. Hey, Battle Black guy. Oh, that guy. So it's not going to be a super light. I didn't have any idea that it would be because metal axles, 2.2s. Although the inner rings on these are plastic. And they feel like Delrin, which seems like a lot of work. I'm going to say 6 pounds. I'm going to say less than 3 kilos. My guess is less than 3,000. 2,800. 2,800 ain't bad. For the rest of us, 6.2 pounds. So it is not going to pick up really any weight from where it is right now. Probably let's call it 6.25. 6.25 is where it's going to sit. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Because I had this idea, the notion incepted itself within me to run Sedonas. And once I committed to Sedonas, I knew. Well, Sedonas and full Capras. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't make any efforts to remove any weight either. But I don't think we're going to need to add any either. I think it's going to be pretty good just right like this. The body was in the bin the whole time. So I guess what kind of happened was the final setup that went on the giveaway rig on Long-Legged Larry was kind of, I guess, subconsciously informed by this. Because I guess I had intended to build this the whole time. I'm just taking this opportunity to put a little bit of the stuff away. I did my usual pull out 25 bins. I'm looking forward to this one. It didn't fight me nearly as much as it could have. Once the front end settled in, I felt like it went pretty okay. We went, and you saw it. It moved. We went what's considered a lightweight build. For me, if it's 5.5 pounds or less, it's light. 5 pounds is really light. Anything under 5 pounds to me is like, you know how they get in boxing, they get into like straw weight, flyweight, atom weight. Like the Cheeto, I've got one that's 5 pounds. Yeah, sub 5, anything sub 5 is lightweight. For me, because we tend to build a little beefier around here, and yes, these are, yeah, they are steel. And they're like uncoated too. So they're going to get all rusty. I do like how they put valve stems on them. They just look really cool. And they were like $20. And I couldn't pass it up. And they're their own offset. They're their own everything. Like this wheel is this wheel. You couldn't change the ring if you wanted to. You couldn't change the hub if you wanted to. These are where they are. And he's kind of... So we've almost made a little bit of the question that was asked right at the beginning about making something square. Because he's, as I said, 445 end to end, and he should be around 290 wide. He's exactly 290 wide. So this guy is a rectangle. My current build is 2.2 kg, around 4.6. That's light. That's definitely light. And, you haven't lived. If you're not familiar with the Slim Tuck, if you weren't also filled with the giggles when you first saw it, where's that sticker sheet? It's, Sharpie for scale. It looks like somebody, like you squeeze your face together. Yeah, they were on Amazon. No, they're hot racing. They have little, would you like to see, are you interested in seeing the thinnest O-ring you've ever seen in your life? That is an O-ring. These are the center caps. I can't run them because my stubs come out past. You wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be able to press them in, and they look cool too. But I'd have to shave my stub axles down, and I don't. That's not a thing that I ordinarily do. So we're just gonna ooh, maybe some scale, some SSDs in there. That might look cool too. Yeah, little squishy. This guy's a little squishy face. Little squishy face. Yeah, they were. I don't know if they were on clearance or somebody was dealing them out or something, because Hot Racing 8-hole Steelies are probably $50 or $60 for a set, and they were like I say, they were around $20, like $20.99, $21.99, something like that, and they've been sitting in the beadlock drawer for 2 years because I bought them like, hey, instinctively, and then was like, well, you don't have anything to put these on. But I did. I don't know how long the Mantis has been here, but I feel like it's been here for a while. Did you paint the grandpa? Yeah, it's red, so $100 Canadian. Yes. Yeah, it's two-tone red. Is the grandpa? It came out okay. It's not my best work. Neither is it my worst. And sometimes that's just enough. You know what? I'm gonna make an effort here. We're gonna pile all these links up right in front of the link drawer. Vevor drill bit sorter. If you have the same kind of mental problems, borderline insanities that I do, the Vevor drill bit sorter costs about, I think it was about $60. Oh, it was worth every penny. It was worth every penny. Mine has now gotten, it's 80% full of links, and I have them sorted in 5mm increments. I have them all straights at the top and then the high clearance at the bottom. Absolutely worth every penny. Come on back over here, Susan. We're gonna let them go. It is 79 in here right now, so it kept climbing up. But God, is it it's just pleasant. It's just pleasant. And now I have to go outside, and it's gonna suck. It's really gonna suck. It's so hot out there. My watch says 102, which means more like 110. I feel like it needs to be purple and white two-tone, white down the sides. It's got to be two-tone, right? This thing, I feel like this thing is screaming two-tone. As much as my laziness just wants to paint it a single color. So we'll I don't know. We'll figure it out. You thought I forgot. You thought I was just gonna walk off without doing it. How do you think the Top Fuel guys feel in Phoenix this weekend? Oof. Dead? There's a reason that they have those drag races in the spring, so that it's not 100+ degrees. But joke's on all of us, I guess. Look at that. Look at this. It's a fat boy. I built a monster truck. Coming up soon on the channel, whenever J Concepts decides to release it and ship it, a monster truck build on the channel. We're building a reactor. Eventually, at some point, we're going to build a reactor. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Enjoy your time. Make someone smile. That's fantastic advice. I'm going to steal it and pretend that I said it myself. And I said it out loud, so I kind of did. Ghost Ride. I don't know when. Coming up, yeah, Clod Busted. We did Mantis Clodbuster style. Monster Mantis. The Manster. It'll be a good one. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Eat, drink, and be merry. I'm going to go brave the heat and get a coffee drink. My wife is in Washington State. She's in Sputter Crawler land. She landed on an airplane in Seattle this very morning, and she won't be back until Sunday. I think it needs to be named Norris Painted Purple for Chuck. Oh. Norris the Monster Mantis. I'm gonna get on it. A solo coffee drink. I gotta go all by myself. And if I didn't like the coffee drink so much, my temptation would be to just go inside, sit down in front of my computer, play some Borderlands, watch some more episodes of whatever I'm watching at the time. My kid says I need to watch Say I already forgot the name. I'm going to have to ask my kid, hey, what's the thing I'm supposed to watch? And then they'll tell me. So, enjoy the rest of your evening or into your tomorrow, as we're probably into tomorrow in the Europes, right? Oh, no, because we're ahead and you guys are still behind. Or did you turn ahead this weekend? Anyway. I will see you all real soon. I'm going to power this place down. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sit down. No, drink. Then sit down. Yeah, left unattended. The only thing is, when I'm left unattended, I do less than when she's here. Because she's the one that makes me do a lot of stuff. Potentially next week, Borderlands, the first DLC comes out Thursday. Appears at 1 p.m. So maybe like 2 p.m. next Thursday. Maybe 1 p.m. next Thursday. Maybe we'll stream some Borderlands. And we'll see how that goes, because the new character Cash is out, and I'm starting a whole new playthrough with Cash, who's luck based and he can throw cards, and it looks pretty cool. So maybe I will we'll schedule a Borderlands stream for next Thursday. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and I will see you all in the next one.